Good day, everyone. Welcome to Journey of the Anointed with Mr. Buzz. The Code of Chivalry. Some people have never heard that term for sure. It's an old term, so you're not really expected that everybody would know it. But the Code of Chivalry, back in the old days, even before I was born, so we're talking like way back in the past. The Code of Chivalry was a code that men followed, which was old school manners towards females. So it placed the female on a pedestal, basically. Here's one of the original things. It's pretty interesting, actually. But what one of the things they practiced was when they were walking down the street back then, people in apartments up above would have their piss pots and they would empty them out the windows. Okay, literally they dumped their piss pots out the windows. So under the Code of Chivalry, the man would walk on the inside in case he got hit with a piss pot. It would be him. So he would walk in the Code of Chivalry. He would walk inside and take the risk of getting the piss on his head. That's true. But I mean, open doors for the ladies. Pull out the chair. Hold the coat so they can put the coat on, and you always like to go out of your way to do things for the lady. Treat her like royalty, basically. And we have guys like myself who still want to do that, but we have a problem now. A lot of women, if you do too much for them, you don't have to treat me like I'm an invalid. I can do it myself, sort of thing. And there are other women who love it. They like the pampering because geez, if I had the option to have somebody do that stuff, I'd probably say, yeah, go for it. Sounds good to me. But a lot of women complain about it. So it becomes one of those contentious things between men and women. How much of the Code of Chivalry is proper in the modern day? Well, that's a big question. I've found not very much of it is safe. If you do it with a woman who is already looking for a fight about that, look out. You don't want to hold the door for her or, do anything chivalrous for her, because she might take it as you calling her weak and needing extra help, sort of thing. That's literally how they feel, which is really sad when you think about that. Somebody trying to be nice and do something nice for you, and that's how you respond to it. Really a sad world, isn't it? It's, in my opinion, it is. The fact that chivalry, that men have to be afraid to go along with it, like to do that. We should be okay to be really sweet and nice to women and treat them like royalty. This should be safe to do, but it's not. You'll get yourself in some pretty bad situations if you do, I promise, in the modern day, especially in certain places. In the city I'm in, it'll take you 10 minutes. You'll be into a scrap with somebody doing that, being chivalrous. Oh, yeah. There should be signs everywhere. Be chivalrous at your own risk, right? Be chivalrous at your own risk, because it can go very, very bad. Oh yeah, I don't recommend it. I guess that's the final conclusion with it. There might be some small towns or rural places where some of you live that it might be cool. Maybe things are still done that way. Keep that alive if that's the case. If you live somewhere like that. But if you live in a city, a modern city, I guarantee it's not like that. There'll be some people that would be okay with it, but most people, you got to be careful. They'll literally start with you just because you're being chivalrous. That's not acceptable in the modern day. Not with the liberal lefties. It's the feminists. They don't like it. they hate men, period. Anyway, they just hate all of us, and they don't think there's anything good about any of us. They're trying to find a way that they can just I mean, they're not even thinking about procreation. They're only thinking about their own lives and to the end of their lives. They don't even care what happens to the race after them. They're not about procreation, that's for sure. So no, these women, no. And they certainly don't want men being chivalrous, holding doors open for them, pulling out the chair for them. They wouldn't trust that just as they sat down, you wouldn't pull the chair right out, which with some of them maybe I might like. No, I wouldn't do that. That's kind of mean. But that's what they'd be thinking you're going to do, because they're suspicious of us. I was standing in a bar. This was quite a while ago, probably a year and a half ago. Standing in the bar. My buddy was 10 feet away from me. So I'm standing there, I've got a beer in my hand, and I'm just standing there, and there's a band playing, and I'm watching the band. And this girl sitting at the bar, which is another maybe 5 feet away from me, she gets my attention, waving to me, and hey, like this. And I'm like, yeah, what? So I go a tiny bit closer to see what she wants. And she goes, no, don't come near me. I hate men. I'm like, whoa. You got my attention. You want me for some reason. I'm responding to you, and you respond like that. Like, she hated men and didn't trust them. And if I wanted to talk to her, I had to keep a distance of at least 3 to 4 feet away from her. But you're asking me to talk to you. So what? I mean, it was unbelievable. I didn't know what to do. I went farther away from her. It's like, get away from me. I don't want you near me. It's actually me that's afraid of you now. You're crazy. And she was. I mean, that's just looking to cause trouble for somebody, right? You're just looking for trouble. Otherwise, you wouldn't do that. So don't want to be chivalrous with her. Hold the door open for her or pull up the chair for her. She might call the cops on you and say you assaulted her somehow, or I mean, one of those. So be careful being chivalrous, guys. Now, there's some ladies who want you to be that way, and if you know for sure they do, then in my opinion, it's the right way to be. I've always gone for the Code of Chivalry. I mean, if there was piss pots being emptied, I'd take the inside. I would take the risk. I wouldn't expect her to have that risk. No, I would do that. Risk the piss pot on my head. I would. So, yeah, that's the Code of Chivalry. A good idea, but not when the women are volatile, which some of them are right now. So it's just kind of a warning about the Code of Chivalry. It can actually be dangerous, though I believe it's, as I say, it's excellent. It's right. We should be doing it. Just do it carefully if you do. And remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. He's the Lord of Lords. He's the King of Kings.